Well, hey, neighbor. How are you? I'm here with
Good.
my friend and leading child psychologist, Dr. Karin Mosk. Thank you for joining me on this little pop-up
Sure.
podcast. Hey,
Sure.
neighbor. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? But also, I'm really curious, and I think people would like to know, what are you finding in mental health post-pandemic?
Sure. Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for having me. So I think what I've noticed is that the pandemic sort of made everything worse for people. So if you've had any pre-existing issue like anxiety or sadness, if you've had social problems or learning problems, the pandemic sort of made all of those things worse and bigger in your lives in your life. So I think that that's why we're seeing such a need and an increase in problems, is because it's not that the problems are necessarily new, that they're just a lot more sort of significant in your life.
Wow, that's interesting. Tell us about you. Tell us what your background is. How did you become a child psychologist?
I got into the field not because of my interest in mental health, but because I've always really loved kids. I've loved working with kids, and I think I'm in general a very optimistic person. And kids are just, filled with wonder and magic and hope. And when you work with a kid, you really see all that. And so I was very good at school. So I decided I wanted to get the highest degree I could get. And I realized I was really good at talking to people.
I love that.
And so I went into the field of psychology.
I love that. So with kids and mental health, are there any organizations that you're passionate about or you want to give a shout out to locally in our Anne Arundel County community?
I'm really passionate about CASA.
Okay.
It's court-appointed special advocates.
Yep.
What they do is they train people to sort of be an advocate for kids in foster care.
Yep.
And I think kids who don't have somebody on their side necessarily, like a parent, really need that. And so that's a big, passion of mine is CASA.
That's awesome. That's a great shout out for CASA. Karin, you moved from Arnold to Eastport.
Yep.
How is that going? Tell us what you love personally about living in Eastport, living in the sort of downtown environment.
Yeah. Well, I love everything about it, actually.
Okay.
I think what I love is that it's not just residential, that there's commercial, so there's obviously places we can walk to and enjoy the beauty of it. You can't beat it. And I just love the quiet aspect of it. Even though there is commercial, there are restaurants and businesses, there's a beauty and a tranquility about Eastport that I wouldn't have necessarily.
Well, that's well described, sort of elegant. So you absorb a lot of stress during the day. Mm-hmm. You must need to catch a nightcap every once in a while. What's your favorite place to grab a drink, in Eastport or downtown Annapolis?
My favorite place, bar none, is Ruth's Chris Bar.
I love it too. That's funny. I didn't
love
know that.
place.
Let's meet there for drinks.
For sure.
Nice seeing you, neighbor.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Karin.
Sure.